Hello, and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Meet Addy. Chapter 3, A New Plan. It was late on Friday afternoon, nearly a week after Sam and Poppa had been sold. Addy and the other children were warming tobacco plants. They were to work their way down the long rows, turning over every leaf to find the worms and kill them. It was Addy's job. It was a job Addy hated. She didn't even like looking at the worms. To kill them, she either had to squish them with her hands or squash them under her bare feet. Addy's mind was not on her work. All her thoughts were about Poppa and Sam. Hey, I got a riddle for you, Sam, she thought to herself. What's heavy as a full pail of water, but still empty, empty, empty? Give up, it's my heart. She peeled the worms off some plants, but forgot to look under the leaves of others. While she came to the end of the second row, the overseer came along behind her to check her work. Addy was just starting the next row when she saw the overseer storming toward her. He had his whip in one hand. She turned to run, but he got to her before she could take a step. Addy raised up her hand, thinking he was going to hit her, but he did not hit her. He dropped the whip and pulled Addy's hands down from her face, yanking her toward him. Holding her wrist in one of his large hands, he opened his other hand. Addy saw what he had held. Live worms that Addy had missed. The overseer forced open her mouth and stuffed the still twisting and wiggling worms inside. Addy began choking. Eat them, the overseer snarled. Chew them, every last one of them. If you don't, I'll get some more. Addy gagged as the worm's juicy bodies burst in her mouth. That'll teach you to mind your work, the overseer snapped. He shoved her away. Addy crumpled on the ground as he turned to leave. It was dark when Momma came home to the cabin that night. She had baby Esther on her hip. There was no fire on the hearth. Addy lay curled up on her pallet. Her face, arms, and legs were streaked with dirt. Her face was covered in mud. Addy, you awake? Get up, honey, her mother said, lighting a candle and then placing Esther down on the pallet. But Addy did not even look up. Addy, her mother said in a voice as soft and warm as the glow of the candle. What happened to you? She sat down on the edge of Addy's path and touched her head gently. Addy opened her eyes. They were red. As she told her mother about the overseer had done to her, she started to cry. Momma lifted Addy's head onto her lap. I hate them, Momma. I hate white people, Addy sobbed. I don't want you to hate anybody, Momma said, stroking Addy's hair. After a while, she got up to get some water. When she came back, she began washing the tears and dirt from Addy's face. Don't you hate them, Momma? Addy asked. No, honey, I don't hate white people, Momma answered. Honey, if you fill your heart with hate, there ain't going to be no room for love. Your brother and Papa need to fill our hearts with love for them, not hate for white people. But, Momma, that overseer and Master Stevens, they hate us, Addy said bitterly. Why white people hate us and treat us wrong? Addy, all white people don't hate colored people. Not all of them do us bad. Master Stevens was wrong to sell Sam and Poppa and to whip you. But Addy, people can do wrong for such a long time they don't know what's wrong no more. What's worse is that when people hurt each other and they don't even care they're hurting them. Like that overseer. He a mean man. That's what hate do to people. I don't want you to be ever that kind of person. Esther began crying. Addy reached over and handed her rag doll to the baby. Esther quieted down. Addy, there's something I need to talk to you about, Mom said slowly. Something serious. You listening to me? Your Papa and me talked about something before Master Stevens sold him to Sam. Papa was worried about the war and times getting hard. Addy knew what her mother was going to say. With all that was happening in the past week, Addy had almost forgotten about this secret she'd been keeping, but now she let it out. You and Papa planned for all of us to run away, she said. How'd you know about that? Mama asked. I heard y'all talking one night, Addy answered. I didn't mean to listen, but I couldn't help it. Then you already know what we plan to go north. Well, we still going. What about Papa and Sam? Addy asked, shouldn't we wait for them to come back for us? They ain't coming back here ever again, no matter what, Mama replied. Papa's plan was to go to Philadelphia. He told Sam about it the day you heard us talking. I am to stick to that plan, and we leave in tomorrow night. Addie looked into her mother's thin face. There were fine lines of worry around her brown eyes. But tomorrow, what if we get caught? Addie asked her, shaking. There ain't no choice, honey. I never thought Master Stevens would break up our family after your papa and me served him our whole life, but I was wrong. Mama shook her head. After what he done, Addie, I can't keep you safe here no more. I'm scared that man who bought Sam and your papa might come back for you. I can't stop him if he do. I ain't gonna sit here and wait for him or anybody to come take you from me. Esther started crying again, and Addie patted her gently. Then she said, Mama, I'm scared too. I want to go to Freedom. Esther want to go too. She turned to her baby sister. Don't you want to go to Freedom, Esther? Addie asked. Don't you want to go find Papa and Sam in Philadelphia? Addie, go to my pallet and get what's under it, Mama said. Under Mama's pallet were 2 large kerchiefs with some clothes. They were not clothes for a woman and girl, but for a man and boy. Mama, what are we going to do with these? Asked Addie. I'm going to pack them kerchiefs with some food, a drinking gourd, things like that. We wearing the clothes, answered Mama. We going to be disguised? Addie asked in surprise. They had disguised, but they more than that, explained Mom. Auntie Lula and Uncle Solomon got them for us. When Master Stevens sent out the dogs for us, it's going to be hard for them to track our smells. We got somebody else's clothes. Auntie Lula and Uncle Solomon should have come with us, Mama, said Addie. Papa said Uncle Solomon know where the safe out is. They should come to Freedom, too. They too old to come to Freedom, Addie. They can't run, Mama said. They would slow us down. Esther can't run either, and she coming, Addie said. Mama lowered her head. Addie knew something was wrong. Her mother would not look at her. Then Addie saw tears on her mother's face. Mama, what's the matter? Addie asked. I might as well tell you now, honey, her mother said, her voice slow and sad. Esther ain't coming with us. Addie couldn't believe her ears. She must not have heard right. She picked up Esther and held her close. No, Mama, Addie said. We ain't leaving Esther. Addie, did you hear me? Mama's voice was soft but firm. Your sister's staying here. But why? Papa said we all going. Addie insisted. Honey, it was different when your Papa and Sam was with us. They could help carry Esther. Now I gotta carry her by myself. I could help, Mama. Let me help. I could carry her, Addie begged. Besides, Mom went on, Esther might cry any time. Her crying might give us away. I could keep her quiet, Mama. I know I just could, Addie said. I'd let her hold Gina while we was running. Addie, Esther can't come, her mother said. Addie hugged Esther again. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, Mama went on. I love Esther just as much as I love you and Sam, but we can't take her. Auntie Lula and Uncle Solomon is going to keep her. She's just a baby, so Master Stevens ain't going to sell her. He can't make no money selling a baby. Addie cradled Esther in her arms, gently rocking her back and forth. The 3 of them sat quietly for a long time. Then Mama broke the silence. The war ain't going to last forever. When it is, we going to get Esther back. Our whole family will be together again. Lay down now, Mama said, blowing out the candle. Mama, can we all sleep together tonight? Addie asked. I'd like that, Mama said. Addie, Mom, and Esther crowded into Addie's pallet. Esther was sandwiched between Addie and Mama. The baby held tight to Janie. Addie moved as close to Esther as she could to feel the baby's warm breath on her face. She put her arms around her tiny sister. Addie tried not to cry, but itchy hot tears were running down her face, and she didn't bother brushing them away. She felt her mother's arms around both her and the baby. Beyond that, from the deeper darkness in the woods, Addie heard a single owl hooting in the night. And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.